this presentation, as I said, was for Gear Up coordinators and people in the schools, and I really wanted to impart to them a sense of why it's important to partner with the university and what elements that a university brings to the partnership. So a lot of their work is in the classroom with high school students or middle school students, and it's like, go to college, it's a great place to go, there are careers, but really coming to campus makes the whole curriculum tangible in a way that it's very difficult to do in the classroom. So it provides a context to college access, their college access program. There are classrooms they get to see, which oftentimes have technology that's very different and from their own, much larger, gives them a sense of what that's going to be. The libraries here are, some of which are as big as the very schools that they come from, so that's very impressive. They get to see dorms, all of the recreational facilities, and they get to see the students running around campus throwing frisbees. Okay, it's a very motivational experience for them. And then also while they're here, the students get to meet inspirational role models. So for example, our programs oftentimes employ or utilize college student or graduate student mentors, which hopefully form a significant relationship with the high school and middle school students while they're here. And they also get to meet genuine professors and staff also. So there are a lot of good reasons for the schools to partner with the university. But really, in any sustainable partnership, both parties need to benefit. So really, what does a university get out of partnering with a school? And so the answer to that is has several parts. One is recruitment access to target student populations. So Oregon State University is a land-grant university for Oregon. But all universities have some element of a college access or providing education to a broad community. Rural, low-income, minorities, first generation, just underserved students. A lot of times you may be having trouble making a connection with the university to get a tour or to form a partnership. So really emphasize that your school is a diverse community. Tell them about your demographics, tell them you're a Gear Up school, and find a university employee who's responsible for diversity recruitment to help you make a connection. So as I mentioned, college access is a core mission for OSU, but it's also a mission for all OUS universities, and even private universities embrace that as well. So really find a program at each of the school that is dedicated to providing college access. And every college has them. Another element, though, for forming a partnership is that outreach addresses broader impacts requirements. So Oregon State University has a lot of research. Faculty get a lot of NSF grants, and NSF grants and many other grants have what are called broader impacts requirements. This is a requirement for them to do some type of outreach. It's oftentimes with youth in the K-12. And so they're looking for these opportunities to partner with schools in order to deliver their programming. So one tip is to contact departments or faculty directly to learn if they can give a presentation or come to your school. So that's especially true if you live fairly close, your school is close to a university, but that may be an effective way to reach out long distances. There are basically two categories of partnerships as I've outlined them here. One is the partnership event can be held on the university campus, okay? So the school comes to us. And this can be campus tours or field trips. It can be a weekend workshop or after-school program, and it can be camps and internships. This has lots of benefits. They get to see the university. The disadvantage is that there's the energy of getting to campus and the transportation barriers. The other category of partnerships are events held in the schools. And so these can be parent nights, and every admissions department from every university goes into different schools and holds recruitment events. But it can also be college access events, financial aid workshops, parent nights. The other thing is college students can visit your school. So for example, our engineering department goes around and visits various high schools throughout the state, mainly for recruitment purposes. I want to talk just a little bit about just very briefly about some of these programs. So Oregon State University has a campus field trip program. There's really been a groundswell of interest in coming to campus, and this program is fantastic because we don't just parade them around campus, we give them hands-on activities and then do a college myths presentation. So that's a great program. Not all, as far as I know, not all universities have something that's really tailored to the middle school level like this, but a lot of places you can still get a tour through admissions. STEM Academy used to be Saturday Academy. They have a ton of clubs, so of different activities. One is an awesome club, an after-school club, and we increased the capacity of the awesome program with CACG funding this year, but there's other engineering camps and something for everybody. A really impactful program is the summer experience in science and engineering for youth. It's residential, you go, you work in a lab. This is life-changing for students. These are the COSI camps that I mentioned. COSI stands for the Center for Outreach in Science and Engineering for Youth. These are the camps that went throughout the state. And we still have a lending library of materials for this that we use for other activities. So what really makes a partnership strong? I should say that this started with as they oftentimes do, with funding. So there was an RFP from Gear Up probably 4 years ago now, and we created a summer camp for the students from Sweet Home. So they were in between 7th and 8th grade, the cohort. That was the first year of the cohort. And the first year was Ocean Science Camp, and 24 of them came. It worked really well. It was very impactful for them. We went into their community and talked at their parent night, parent college kickoff night. It really started, a lot of collaborations began to form between our groups. So they were good partners, and this could happen because they were motivated and invested partners. Another thing they brought to the table is the changing needs of students. I really don't know the developmental changes that happen between 8th and 9th grade. I don't work with these students every day, but the Gear Up coordinators and the Gear Up teachers do, and we were in communication with them about what they would be interested in, what's going to resonate with them. Also, there was sustained student interaction. So we've had the camp 3 years now. We'll have it again this year. I know these students. I recognize them, and I've seen them change. And we're really having a long-term relationship form between us. They also provide student recruitment and transportation to OSU. So those roving camps, the Gear Up coordinators where we took these camps to took care of student recruitment and registration. So that was a big benefit to us, so we didn't have to do that. So then, as I mentioned, what do we bring to the partnership? Resources and staff, instructors, just the whole facilities. We have many different outreach programs to draw from. Sweet Home and other Gear Up schools come and they do the campus field trips. They do the STEM, so we set aside classes in the STEM, other STEM programs for that STEM Academy programs for them to take. And we're committed to increasing college access for underserved students. This is a very important enrollment initiative for our university. It comes down and we embrace it fully. Just very briefly to outline the collaborations we've had with Gear Up. We've had 3 summer camps. The first 2 years were just for Sweet Home. At the statewide retreat, other schools said, please, can we be part of this? Gear Up gave us more funding. We opened it up to 48 students, 4 from each cohort last summer. That worked very well. It was just great to bring these students from far away. We took a camp to Sweet Home, also La Pine. Yearly field trips to OSU. They come, they bring their whole 7th grade for us to give tours to. I mentioned the after-school tutoring club. Then there are free STEM Academy classes for Sweet Home students that were set aside. Sweet Home just provided transportation to get here. Then I serve on the OSU Sweet Home Education Committee. As I mentioned, all universities have some kind of youth outreach component. Portland State University has their Team Viking program, and this is a residential camp, and it started as a partnership between PSU and Roosevelt. One advantage that they have is that Roosevelt and Marshall are very close to PSU, so PSU can put college students on the bus to go into their schools. So the transportation issue was very small for them. So they had a lot of interactions between undergraduates and Roosevelt and Marshall students. Western has tours and admissions through admissions. They also have the WOW project, partnership with Salem Kaiser schools. U of O also offers tours through admissions that you can connect with. They also have the Oportunidades program, which is very successfully reaching families and integrating especially Latino families into college access events. Here's Southern Oregon University with the pre-college youth programs. It's really impressive, a lot of programs students can participate in. I want to also just wrap up with partnerships, do's and don'ts. So these are from my perspective as the university partner. So do use your university partnership to motivate students. There are other ways you can use your university partnership to incentivize your students. Do be a good communicator. I don't have to say that everybody is overly busy in this world. And when we're trying to coordinate an event and send an email to our partner, a prompt reply is always appreciated. Organize your activity early. So many programs are first come, first serve. Our campus field trip program is pretty much full right now. So, and then finally, don't overwhelm your host. So if you can possibly split students into manageable groups doing tours on different days, that is by far the best way to do it. And I realize this is a balance between getting the resources for transportation and wanting to keep things coordinated, but when 200 students come to campus, it overwhelms our tour guides, it overwhelms the eating facilities, it overwhelms the rooms that we have for students, and it just puts a stress on the whole system. So if it's possible to break them out, that's great. And then make sure students are on best behavior during the program and tours, and I think we have pretty good success with that. So, finally, I just had at the end of this university resources and contact at some of the OUS universities and the departments that you can contact for tours or to make these partnerships happen.